إن تضحياتكم ومعاناتكم وصرخاتكم كلها أمانة في أعناقنا.
This is a big day. We'll see how it all turns out. We have to get the final word down in concrete.
My impression is that the Israeli mindset was basically that Trump had given a unilateral ultimatum to Hamas. I think Netanyahu was confident that Hamas would not accept that. And therefore, I think the answer we received yesterday from Hamas took them by surprise, because it was a very clever response. I felt on Monday that Hamas was part of a blame game, that Trump's announcement and Netanyahu with him was really to set them up to take the blame for the continuation of the violence. Responding in the way they did, conceding on the main point, two main points, but saying, right, let's negotiate the others, put the ball back in their court. And I think Trump, it was very wise too. It was on the eve of Shabbat, so it gave space for Trump to think about it without too much pressure from Israel. And Trump, I think, responded in the right way, saying, right, stop the bombing. Now it remains to be seen if Netanyahu will accept that instruction from Trump. But if he does, and if they then move on to the second phase of saying, right, let's create a space for the exchange of hostages. Hamas doesn't want to be part of the government of Gaza. And in fact, way back in August 2023, I was at a meeting in Khan Yunis with all the political parties, and then they were talking about municipal elections in November 23, and Hamas actually saying they didn't want to be in government, and they were looking at a common manifesto between the parties. So I'm not surprised at that concession. I think the current Israeli government, as it is a coalition which I don't think has much life shelf left. I think if the genuine ceasefire takes hold, the hostages are released, I think there will be pressure, internal pressure in Israel on that government, and we will see, I think, elections sooner than later. Now, what emerges, well, I don't know. How the coalition develops, I don't know. But I do know that there are people in the Israeli system, right across the system, who don't see the current situation as viable or sustainable, in the sense that they would see the need for negotiations. I think people are rightly critical of Oslo. It was a terrible mistake. And I think Oslo has led, in fact, to what we are witnessing today and what we've witnessed over the last 2 years. We need, if we're going to move into negotiations, if the government, and as I say, there are people who may be in a new government in Israel who would be ready to do that. If we move into serious negotiations, then there has to be a willingness to accept the legal reality of a Palestinian state, end occupation immediately. The whole cause of resistance is occupation. And there are people, and have been people, in the Israeli government who understand that. But it's difficult for them in the emotional mood that Israel is in the moment, I think, to articulate it. But we can only hope that a new government will also adopt a new mindset and will see that their security lies in having a good relationship with their Palestinian neighbors, not in military domination.